Okay, Jack's insisting on being part of it, so let's go. The biggest problem in this country today is how much we have normalized as a society, how much we have overlooked in the past and not demanded immediate solutions. And one side more than the other was guilty of that. As a perfect example, think back of Al Franken, and as he toured, a picture that showed up as he toured, just as a reminder, the ISO as a comedian long before getting into politics. There was a female journalist in a flak jacket sleeping on a plane, and he, from about a foot away from her, went like he was going to grab her chest. But you could see the shadow in the distance. There was nothing, no contact or anything. But because of the appearance, and this is before the Me Too movement and all of the hypersensitivity that sometimes was weaponized on both sides, but this was long before that, and this is just a perfect example of the way that it's handled on the Democratic side compared to the way that it's been handled on the Republican side. So the Democrats literally, kicked him out. Because it wasn't, what they wanted to represent the Democrat. And he was very, very effective with everything, not everything. Well, I thought he was one of the most effective on each side of the aisle. So I was sad to see him go. He was the one responsible for Jeff Sessions and, him admitting things that caused a whole bunch of problems for Trump. So, that was an effective representative of the Democratic Party. That was Democratic Party losing power. And people like Matt Gaetz, people like Jim Johnson, people like, all of these people that have been proven to have done so many horrific things, not only keep their jobs, but, go on to live a happy, political life. Making tens of millions of dollars and making tens of millions of dollars and casting deciding votes on tens of millions of people's health care and things like that. So the difference is really, really obvious. And Anthony Weiner, remember Anthony Weiner, who sent inappropriate pictures. Now we have a presidential, starting from when he was a candidate, and all of the things that have come out that are indisputable he does on camera. And they have been normalized. And the speech and the anger and all the stuff that's been building as the rise of the MAGA movement that was building has been normalized so much that we don't even flinch when something that would have gotten any Democrat right out of their office immediately. And now we have a judge that basically ruled, a Trump-appointed judge that ruled against the administration when the Department of Justice wanted basically unfiltered access to tens of millions of people's personal data. This judge said, no, there's no reason for that, which is something they've been trying to do since Doge. And this judge stood up. Stephen Miller called her and the leftist judges terrorists. The next day, her house exploded. We have Paul Pelosi and, the president at the time going out after Pelosi was attacked in his home with a hammer in the middle of the night. The president's son puts out a post, because it was around Halloween, that, hey, I figured I'm wearing my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume with a pair of tighty whities with a hammer. And the president's like, well, I guess their wall didn't work for them, or their wall needed to be, in his multiple jokes about it. And that's not offensive to anybody, but if Judge Brett Kavanaugh gets a threat, then it's heightened security plus $50 million in taxpayer money. Where is the screaming hypocrisy there? Where is that recognition?